Set 11 is out on the PBE. It's that time, guys. Let's talk about what Set 11 has to offer. This is Set 11. First look. The first thing we're gonna discuss is the champions. And let's start off immediately with a brand new champion to TFT, Kobuko. Kobuko is a Yordle tank. In this set, he dances, and while doing so, he heals himself. After he heals himself, he channels his energy into a magical pause and delivers a big smack to his target. And that damage is going to scale with his health. His passive gives him health based on the interest you've earned. So imagine the possibilities if you get an early Kobuko. As for the rest of the one costs, we got Cho'Gath, Garen, Jax, Malphite, Rek'Sai, Yasuo, Ahri, Caitlyn, Darius, Kha'Zix, Kog'Maw, and Sivir. For 2 cost champs we have Aatrox, Neeko, Shen, Yorick, Gnar, Janna, Kindred, Lux, Qiyana, Riven, Senna, Teemo, and Xayah. Moving over to the 3 cost, we're starting with another new champ to TFT called Alune. Alune is Aphelios' sister. She's a spellcaster that hits hard. What she will do is attack an enemy row and then buff her current row, splitting all the damage across. So you're probably already thinking, oh, no big deal. I'll just split my units up in all different rows. Yeah, well, it's not that easy. Cause if there's for instance only one enemy on the row she attacks, she will obliterate that target. Cause she doesn't have to spread her damage anymore. So try to watch out how you position your units against the loop. Most likely there will be more info about this in the future. As for the other 3 costs, we got Amumu, Diana, Alawi, Tahm Kench, Thresh, Volibear, Aphelios, Bard, Soraka, Tristana, Yone, and Zoe. Then for the 4 costs, Annie, Galio, Nautilus, Ornn, Ashe, Kai'Sa, Kayn, Lee Sin, Lilia, Morgana, Sylas, and Syndra. And then finally, the 5 cost units. We started with Azir, Wei, Irelia, Lissandra, Set, Udyr, Wukong, and then Xayah and Rakan. Xayah and Rakan work together. Now you might be thinking, together? How does this work? If you remember Jace from set 6, Gizmos and Gadgets, where he would change forms based on if he was in the front or the back, Xayah and Rakan work somewhat the same. In the front 2 rows you'll get Rakan, in the back 2 rows you'll get Xayah. As the active one is on the board using their abilities, the inactive unit is supporting on the outside of the board. Meaning, when one casts their spell, so does the other. Xayah is the AD backline champ, Rakan is the AP frontline carry. Then moving over to traits. First off, we got Heavenly. If you played guilds in set 7 Dragonlands, Heavenly is similar to that. The only difference is that there is a reroll component to it. Heavenly champions grant a unique stat bonus to your team, increased by their star level and each Heavenly unit in play. Kha'Zix is crit damage, Malphite is armor and magic resist, Neeko is health, Qiyana is attack damage, Soraka ability power, Wukong attack speed, and the emblem gives Omnivamp. Then we have Dryads. Dryads gain ability power and 10 health. Each enemy death grants additional health. Then Faded. Hover one Faded unit over the other to form a pair and unlock a Faded bonus. Your pair gains 20% health. Different champs have different bonuses. Ahri 25% ability power, Yasuo 400 HP shield, Kindred 20% attack speed, Aphelios 25% attack damage, Thresh 20% armor and magic resist, Syndra 12% more damage, Set 15% Omnivamp, and the emblem gives 3% HP regen per sec. Next up we got Fortune. The way that this works is when you lose a fight, you gain luck. The more fights in a row you lose, the more luck you get. Lose luck when you win. The way this starts is you put 3 Fortune units in. And the moment that happens, you gotta roll a die. And the number that is shown off of the die is the amount of player combats that you gotta hold a festival where you may convert your luck into rewards. Meaning, if you roll a 6, that's the amount of turns you have to lose before you can cash out. Say you lose 5 turns out of 6 and are at 15 points. And then win on the 6th, you will drop all the way down to around 7. So it's a high risk, high reward comp. If you play 5 fortune units over 3, you can now heal 2 player health at the start of each player combat. And when you are at 7, you gain extra rewards and more luck every turn no matter what, and hold a festival every turn. Next up is Ghostly. Upon dealing or taking damage 7 times, Ghostly units send 2 specters to hunt nearby enemies and heal 3% max health every 2 seconds. Hunted enemies take bonus damage for each specter on them, and pass specters on death. Then we have Dragonlords. After 8 seconds of combat, the dragon strikes the board, dealing true damage to enemies and granting all allies attack speed for the rest of combat. Porcelain. After casting, Porcelain champions Boil, gaining attack speed and taking less damage for 4 seconds. Then there's Inkshadow. Inkshadow champions gain bonus damage and damage reduction. There's different Inkshadow items. Which ones you get changes each game. You got Tattoo of Bombardment. Every third attack fires bolts at the 2 lowest percent health enemies, which deal 100% attack damage as physical damage. Tattoo of Force. Whenever the holder acquires a new target, they run quickly to and briefly stun them, dealing 300 magic damage and double the stats from this item for 4 seconds. Then there's Tattoo of Fury. Deal 35% bonus damage to targets below half health. On takedown, gain 40% attack speed for 6 seconds. Tattoo of Protection. Gain a 50% max health shield after casting the first time each combat. When it breaks, around 50% of this shield amount to the 2 nearest allies. Tattoo of Toxin. Damage applies a toxin that deals an additional 50% of that damage over 3 seconds and 33% wounds the target. Wounds means reduce healing received. And then last but not least, the Tattoo of Vitality. Attacks heal the holder for 2.5% of their max health and deal the same amount as bonus magic damage. Storyweaver. Storyweavers summon a hero named Kale and evolve her. They also gain max health. With 3 Storyweavers, you pick a supportive effect and get 60 health. With 5 Storyweavers, you pick a combat effect and get 100 health. At 7, you pick another combat effect and get 150 health. And at 10, you ascend and get 250 health. Umbral. The moon illuminates hexes, shielding units placed in them at the start of combat. Umbral units in illuminated hexes execute low health enemies. Then there's Mythic. Mythic champions gain health, ability power and attack damage. After 4 player combats, they become epic, increasing the bonus by 50%. So much for the specific traits. The rest of the traits are more generic. You got bruisers, snipers, arcanists, altruists, behemoths, duelists, invokers, reapers, sages, trick shots, wardens, and then finally Exalted. With the Exalted trait, your team gains 5% bonus damage plus more based on your level. After combat, store 2 XP in a soul core. Sell the core to claim the XP. Each game, a different set of units is exalted. These sets are a pre-set up combination, so things won't get out of hand. So they're not 100% random. The next thing we're going to talk about is the set mechanic encounters. There's a total of 90. Everyone in the lobby will face the same encounter. A couple examples are a Mumu. The carousel is full of 2-star 2 cost and 3 costs. Kindred offers you a choice between 2 temporary items which last 3 rounds. You got Caitlyn, gain 4 rerolls this turn. And Sivir, everyone gains movement speed. Then we got portals. The portals that have been added in set 11 Inkborn Fables are Champion Conference, Gold Subscription, Gold Start, Anvil Buffet, Wandering Vendors, and Lethal Legends. The portals that are removed since last set are Multi-Talented, Showtime, Training Dummy, Unit Accelerator, Augment Payout, Item Payout, Treasure Armory, and Loaded Carousels. Moving over to the Augments. As for the Augments, these are the Augments that have been added and removed from the set. You can pause the video if you need to. Then moving on to the Gold Augments, same thing, 15 are added and 11 are removed. You can see them right here. The amount of Prismatic Augments that are added are 12 and a total of 11 are removed. Then the leveling changes. The amount of XP that is required to level from level 8 to 9 got reduced from 80 to 72. To level from 9 to 10 got reduced from 84 to 72 as well. Then the shop odds. Here are the numbers for the shop odds at level 7. You can see them. At first that means 1 cost, then 2 cost, then 3 cost, then 4 cost, and then obviously 5 cost. Level 8, same thing. Level 8 got a change as well. You can see the numbers right here. The odds of seeing a spatula on a carousel have been reduced. And there's another thing about the item changes. It's not much. All there is to it is that the Tactician Crown now has stats. It gives 33 health, and then it gives 3 mana, AD, AP, armor, magic resist, and attack speed. And that's it! That's the introduction to set 11 on TFT. If you find this guide helpful, like and subscribe, turn on the notifications for future content, and I'll see you in the next video.